Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Children, this is your moral science class. In the previous class, we have started the chapter Faith in Allah's Messenger and His Book. So far, we have studied in this chapter that we all are the children of Adam alayhi salam. Whole world is the children of the people of the whole world are the children of Adam alayhi salam and Bibi Hawa. And if, if Adam salam was told this, that whole world is full of his children, he would be very surprised. And we have also learned that how the children of Adam lived a simple life. They used to farm land and grew crops. They were happy with what they have. Then what happened? Then we have studied that the Saturn was very much jealous of this happy state of man. Why was he jealous of mankind, humankind? Because when Saturn refused to prostrate himself before Adam salam, he lost Allah's favor and was rejected forever. So he thought that he should take revenge and he should take the children of Adam to hell along with him. And that is why he was jealous of men. Then what did he do for this? He misled man into a very grievous error, and that was worshipping idols, because he knew that Allah will forgive everything except associating partners with him. And how did he started his plan? How did he succeed? How did he convince mankind to worship idol? First, Saturn schemed and led mankind into making drawings and portraits of the saint who had been dead. Then, gradually, these portraits began in number and gained reputation. Now, people used to stood before them out of respect, and gradually they treated them as holy monument and sources of good luck. Then, after some generations, instead of portraits, children, the humans or the mankind started making idols. Instead of portraits, they started making idols and statues of their parents and grandparents who were dead, and used to touch them, kiss them out of respect and ask favors from them. Then these idols multiplied, and very soon there were gods of each type, like the wind god, the sun god, the moon god. Every town, every village has its own god, and this was the way how Saturn deceived mankind into sin and drew him away from Allah. Now, when all these things happens, then Allah became displeased with the human beings, humankind, and then what did Allah do? Allah sent natural disasters like sandstorms, earthquakes, famines, heavy rains, and many other types of disasters. But these also had a very little effect on the mankind. Then what happened? Then Allah thought of sending messengers to the whole human beings, to the whole world, so that they can preach the human being in their own language and drive them away from worshipping idols. So today we will start reading about the prophets. Now I'm starting the chapter by the reading of the chapter, the prophets, page number 21. The prophets. Allah could have wiped out the mankind for its disobedience, but He is compassionate and merciful. On the other hand, He could have compelled man to return to the right path, but that would be contrary to the freedom granted to him to choose for himself. It was therefore essential that man should receive guidance, and for this purpose, Allah raised up His messengers who could talk to them in their languages, warn them, and guide them to the right path. You know that Allah has all strength. Everything that happens in this world is by Allah's will. So, after seeing these children of Adam worshipping idols, Allah could have finished the whole mankind at once for the disobedience. But Allah did not do so. Why? Because He is Rahman and Rahim. You know, He is Rahman and Rahim. He is compassionate and merciful. So He did not wipe out the whole mankind. And secondly, he did not compel man to the right path. If he wanted, he could have compelled man to come to the right path, even today also. If Allah wanted, he could have compelled man to return to the right path, and nobody would have allowed to worship idols. But Allah did not do so. Why? Because it will be contrary to the freedom granted to him to choose for himself. Allah has given us the best gift of reasoning and logical thinking. Na? So, if Allah will compel mankind to return to the right path, it will be contrary to the freedom given to the human beings. But Allah thought of giving guidance to the mankind, and for this Allah raised up messengers who could talk to them in their languages, warn them and guide them to the right path. These messengers were ordinary human beings. They were all men, not angels. Like angels were made up of light, we have studied. They were mankind like us, which were made up of wet clay only, like we are made up of wet clay. But Allah granted them as His messenger who could talk to the whole humankind in their language and guide and warn them and so that they could return back to the right path. The functions of the Prophet. Allah blessed these messengers with the knowledge of truth. Allah commanded them to invite all men to truth from which they had strayed, to show men the way to heaven and the way to please Allah. They all had the same mission to call people to the right path. Now you have read this. You have read before also that Allah sent His messengers. These messengers were ordinary human beings, but Allah blessed them with the knowledge of truth. And Allah commanded these messengers so that they could invite all men to truth, from which they have gone far away, and to and show men the way to heaven. And what is the way to heaven? The way to heaven is to please Allah. So all the Prophet had the same mission to call people to the right path. Down through the ages, before Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Allah sent prophets at different times. Prophets has come to all land, to every nation. Allah sent a messenger. The first man at Adam alayhi salam was the first prophet, and Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was the last prophet. Prophets speak in Allah's name. Their duty is to deliver the message of Allah to people and to show them how the message is to be translated into practical life. Now, as I have told you that these messengers of Allah were ordinary men created out of wet clay, not holy spirits. Allah blessed them with holy souls, but they were ordinary human beings like us. And the first prophet which Allah had sent, was Adam alayhi salam. And the last prophet which Allah has sent is who? Our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Allah has sent prophets to every part of the world. Only Allah knows their exact number, but Allah has sent prophet to every part of the world. And all the prophets speak in Allah's name. And their foremost duty is to convey the message of Allah to people and show them how the message is to be translated into practical life. These messengers of Allah led a practical life like ordinary human beings. They had families, they led a practical life, and their work was to show that how in your practical life, leading a practical life, you can please Allah. Okay? Then the qualities of the Prophet. What were the qualities of these prophets? Prophets are very holy. They never deceive anyone. They are innocent and free from sins. All the prophets were the doers of good. Prophets are men. Allah chose them to be His messengers. Allah guided them, and their teaching was free from all errors. The basic message of all the prophets was the same: oneness of God, to serve Him and to shun false gods and power of evils. A Muslim should believe in all the prophets who came before Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not only those who are mentioned in the Quran, but also those who are not mentioned. So now in this passage we will discuss about the qualities of the prophet. That prophets were very holy person. They always speak the truth. They never tell a lie, nor do they cheated anybody. They were innocent and free from all type of sins. They did only good deeds. They were the doers of good, and they all were men, like ordinary human beings. And it was Allah. They did not mention themselves as prophet or selected themselves as prophet, but it was Allah's will to choose them as His messengers. They guided mankind, and their teaching was free from all errors. There were no error in their teachings, though their followers manipulated their teachings, but the teachings of the prophet was all the prophets were free from all type of errors. And the basic message that all the prophet has conveyed was the oneness of God. That Allah is alone. Allah is one and only one God to be worshipped. No other should be worshipped beside Allah. And it is our duty, we are born to worship and obey Allah. And a person is a true Muslim only if he believe in all the prophets whom Allah has sent on this earth before Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not only those who are mentioned in the Quran, but also those who are not mentioned. Okay, so we should only Allah knows the correct numbers of the prophet. Only some of the prophets are mentioned in the Quran, but a true Muslim should mention all the prophets, the names of the prophet and their number. According to the Quran, Allah sent His messenger to each nation. Their number is quite large. Allah only knows their exact numbers. The Quran, however, mentions the following prophets by their name: Adam alayhi salam, Nuh alayhi salam, Ibrahim alayhi salam, Ismail alayhi salam, Ishaq alayhi salam, Lut alayhi salam, Yaqub alayhi salam, Yusuf alayhi salam, Musa alayhi salam, Harun alayhi salam, Daud alayhi salam, Sulaiman alayhi salam, Ilyas alayhi salam, Yunus alayhi salam, Elijah alayhi salam, Ayub alayhi salam, Zakaria alayhi salam, Yahya alayhi salam, Zulkifl alayhi salam, Idris alayhi salam, Hud alayhi salam, Saleh alayhi salam, Shuaib alayhi salam, Isa alayhi salam, and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. These are the only some of the prophets whose names are mentioned in the Quran, but only Allah knows the correct number of the prophets whom He had sent. But He has, according to the Quran, Allah has sent His messengers to every part of the world. The Prophet speaks in Allah's name. No one can claim to be Muslim without believing in the prophets. In fact, he who obeys the Prophet obeys Allah. The path of the Prophet is the path of Allah. Whatever the Prophet commands must be accepted, whatever he forbids must be avoided. A pilot who does not follow the orders he received from the control tower ends up in great trouble. People who do not follow what the Prophet tells them always end up being very unhappy. A true Muslim believes in the Prophet of Allah. He regards them all as the true prophets of Allah. He who denies any one of them is not a Muslim. So, being a true Muslim, we should believe in all the prophets of Allah, and we should obey the prophets also, their teachings also. What the prophets have taught us, we should obey them. The basic message is the oneness of God, to be truth, not to deceive anyone, and to be on the path of Iman. So, whatever the Prophet commands must be accepted, and whatever they have forbidden must be avoided. You can take, you can compare Prophet with a pilot. Sorry, not with a pilot, but as a control tower. Here in this chapter, the prophets are compared as a control tower. When a pilot flies an aeroplane, he receives commands from the control tower. And if he does not follow those commands which he received from the control tower, he ends up in great trouble. His plane can be crashed. He can happen any accidents. So the prophets which Allah has sent are like control towers. They give us the commands, and like a good pilot, we should drive our lives according to the commands of these prophets. And like, if the pilot do not obey the commands from the control tower, what will happen? His plane will be crashed. Similarly, if we will not follow the commands of the prophet, our life will also be crashed. We will directly sent to the hell. So, a true Muslim is one who believes in the Prophet of Allah, regard them as the true prophets of Allah, and denies and he who denies any one of them is not a Muslim. It is said in the Quran that he who denies any of the Prophet is not a Muslim. Faith in the books of Allah. Allah has sent prophets at different times. These prophets spoke Allah's name. They taught people how to live on this earth. Allah gave these prophet books. These books were holy. A Muslim should believe in all the books of Allah. Now, among all these prophets, Allah has given some written commands to some of the prophets. Not all the prophets, but at different times, some of the prophets had given a book from Allah, a guiding book from Allah, and which these books spoke in Allah's name, and taught in these books the teaching were how to live on this earth. And these books were very holy. So a true Muslim is one who believes in all the books of Allah. To our ummah, we are all the ummati of whom? Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And which book was revealed on our Prophet? It was the Quran. Quran is our guiding book, our constitution, our code of conduct. Similarly, Allah has sent other books also, which you will further study in the chapter, and we should have faith and treat them holy. All the books which Allah has sent should be treated as holy, and we should have faith in all these books. The names of the sacred books and their numbers. Just as there were numerous prophets, so there were numerous books of Allah, the holy records of Allah's message. The Quran speak of them sometimes as book or leaves or sheets. The Quran says Allah gave the Zabur Zabur means the song in the praise of Allah to Prophet Dawud alayhi salam. And it is mentioned in the Quran that indeed we did grace Dawud with our favors. O you mountains, sing with him the praise of Allah, and likewise you birds. So, at different times, Allah has sent different books, and these books are the records of Allah's message. And Quran speaks of these books sometimes, and they are regarded as the books or leaf or suhuf. And the book which was given to Dawud alayhi salam is known as Zabur. And in this book, Allah has said that, O mountains, sing with him the praise of Allah, and also the birds. Means Allah wanted every mankind, every human being, every living thing to sing the praise of Allah. The Quran says, Allah gave the Torah to Prophet Musa alayhi salam. Then which books were given to Prophet Musa alayhi salam? It was Torah. Then the Quran says, Allah gave the suhuf, leaves of book, to Prophet Ibrahim and Musa. Besides Torah, there were some suhuf, means some, you can say, some hard copy or some sheets or some pages that were given to, that was not a complete book but only some pages that was given to Prophet Musa alayhi salam and Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, and that are known as suhuf. Then Allah gave the Injil to Prophet Isa alayhi salam. Now Allah gave which book to Isa alayhi salam? That was Injil, which is called as Bible also, the Old Testament of Bible. And Allah gave the Quran to our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who was the final messenger to mankind and Allah's mercy to all creatures. Now all the books which were given by Allah to the mankind were manipulated by their followers. The followers of Isa alayhi salam, the followers of Musa alayhi salam, the followers of Dawud alayhi salam make changes in this book, make changes in Zabur, they make changes in Torah and Injil. And so, the time to time, Allah has sent different messengers. But the final verdict was the Quran, which Allah gave to our Prophet, whom the Prophet, the our Prophet whom we call our, we are the ummatis of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the final book that was given to him was Quran, and this Quran is the final message of Allah to mankind, and Prophet Muhammad is the last messenger, the final messenger to mankind. Now no prophet will come to guide us, and Allah has sent his last messenger, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His life is full of examples to be accepted and to be followed. And then Allah has given us our constitution, our guiding book, and that is what? Quran. We should lead our life according to the teachings of Quran. Whatever is written there in Quran, we should try to lead our life according to the Quran. That is our code of conduct. That is our constitution. The rules that has the rules by which we should govern our life, and it is the Allah's mercy to all the creatures. So, children, you should read Quran daily, recite Quran, try to recite Quran daily, and not only the recitation, but you should try to understand in the meaning. One line, two line daily, or whenever you find time, try to understand Quran by its meaning. Not only just reading the lines, but try to understand the meaning of these ayats. One ayat, two ayat daily, or whenever you find time. So, when you will know the meaning of these ayats, then you will accept it in your daily life. Okay? Quran is our code of conduct or our constitution. Belief in all the sacred books of Allah. The religion of Islam requires a belief not only in the Holy Quran but in all the revealed books of Allah. Allah granted a book to all the prophets. Allah granted a revelation to every prophet according to the need of his people. But the Quran perfected all the former revelations. All the former books that were sent down before the Quran is the last of the revealed book. Allah has laid down in it once for all how we should live on this earth. It will continue to guide man till the end of this world. It is the last and the final message of Allah. So, what is, if you are following Islam, if you are believing in Islam, then you should not only believe in the Holy Quran, but all the other books that were revealed by Allah. Though we do not have the original copies of any of these books, all are manipulated by their followers, but we should regard them as holy. And the final message, the final revelations that Allah gave us is the Quran, and it perfected all the former revelations, all the former books that were sent before the Quran. It is the last of the revealed book. It is our last code of conduct, and till this world exists, till then the Quran will be the guiding book, the guiding commands to all the human beings. It is the last and the final message of Allah. So, what we should understand by this paragraph, that we should lead our lives according to the Holy Quran. Quran should be our code of conduct. We should adopt the principles mentioned in the Quran in our daily life. So, this is all about the chapter. Hope you have understood the chapter. Now, in the next term, next period, I will send you the question answers of this book. Read this chapter thoroughly and go through the explanatory part also and revise it. Okay, this is all for today's lecture.